So this is the Falcon pedal. Removed it from its housing out of the Falcon. Going to try and make it fit my Skyline. So this is the Skyline pedal as I've removed it. Notice how straight it is on the shaft. Like the center of the pedal is pretty much the center line of the shaft, and it's offset on the mount. So the plan is, at the moment, I've zip tied this one up so it's at wide open throttle, or close enough to it. So I'm going to do the same to this one, and then sit them on top of each other, try to line the pads up as best as possible, get the little dimensions of this one, and try to make a folded mount. So with how offset this curve is, I think we're going to pick up these 3 holes with a cutout around the pin, and then fold it up to get these 2 bolt holes to the body, and then put a brace on it. So I'll draw one up and get it laser cut, fold it, and see how we go. So this is the model I've come up with. Been a lot of backwards and forwards, printing 1-to-1 scale cutouts and checking dimensions. So this face will bolt to the forward pedal. This face will bolt to factory Nissan mount. Got just folded this flange on the top just to sturdy it all up, and I'll dimple die this hole. So next step would be to send it out, get it laser cut with some other stuff I'm doing. So that's the profile for the laser cutting. So once you get it back, then I'll fold it up on these fold lines and weld it together, and then check it out. So I'll show you how I did the. So this is to come up with the right dimensions, or what I think is the right dimensions anyway. I've printed them off in 1-to-1, so you can see that this here scale 1-to-1, and then I've only got an A4 printer at home, so when I print it, just make sure you choose A4, and then make sure it's model, and then make sure that the part's actually in the preview. Just print it on some cardstock or something, then cut it all out, fold it all up, bit of sticky tape here and there, bolt it on, and a lot of backwards and forwards checking it in the car. Make sure it looks close to what it's going to be. But yeah, I think I've got it now, so I'll move on and get this part folded up, and then weld it up, and then we can test fit. So this is the mount. After I got it laser cut, I just folded it up in the vise, squared it up, and then just run a TIG bead across the top. Wasn't too bad after everything. So because of the bend, we're going to bolt it on the inside of it. Lines up with, so you can see the cutout clears the pin, lines up with 3 holes. Just going to put the heads on the A-pillar side, just so it doesn't rub the harness or anything like that. So any luck, it all goes together quite easily. So there. Any luck, that's all that's required. We'll get some washers to put on it, put some nylon nuts on it later, and then just throw it into the car. Doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Right, so I'm going to try and fit it back into factory position. I haven't pulled this throttle cable out. Been a bit lazy, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, the plan was to get it to bolt back into the factory holes. So turn the bolts around so that projected ends on the inside, so it doesn't rub on the loom or anything. So you can see how far it's had the factory pedal was pretty much straight in line with the bolt holes, and the forward pedal, because of its offset, had to be sat over so far to get the pad to line up. Let's bolt it in. Okay. Try to reuse the same bolts because I've got them, but one day I might change them. See how we go. Alright, there you go. You can see it clears on the side a bit, so you can get to the plug. Bolts into the factory position, factory mounts on the throttle pedal. So you can see it sits down a little bit. Accelerator pedal is a bit lower than the brake. Might be able to adjust the pedal down on the brake to suit if it becomes a bit of drama. But there you go, it sits just off the stop. So might have to slot a hole or something to get it sit on the stop without flexing the bracket. But yeah, the electronic pedal doesn't have the same travel that the cable pedal does, so I couldn't get it up to the right height. But you can see it sort of sits over the stop and it just bolts straight in now. So I think next we're going to work on putting a clutch pedal master in it, getting that all rigged up. So